hashtag of the season. Hello and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is November 7th, 2024, and this is episode 114. My name is Roz, and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia, Canada, with my husband and my two kids who are 14 and 12. Whew, almost 13. I've been thinking about this a lot this week because my daughter is turning 13, and that's it. Teenagers only in this house. I'd like to say welcome to any new viewers, and thank you very much for coming back. To all my returning viewers, I want to do a special shout out to Brenda, my friend on Vancouver Island, because she her and I have been connecting on Instagram. She posted a couple projects that she's working on, and she found the inspiration from this channel. So I'm always so tickled when that happens. So hi. What else do I want to talk about? Ways that you can support the podcast are interacting with me on Instagram, Ravelry, and here in YouTube. Comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, all those fun things. I also have a Ko-fi account if you're feeling generous, but it is not required at all. All right, what are we going to talk about today? Today, I've had a little bit of sugar, so I'm going to try and not talk so fast. It's the first chai eggnog of the season. Oh, so good. So good. Today, we're going to talk about what am I wearing, works in progress, stash, events, and some books. So let's get started, shall we? What am I wearing? Today, I am wearing a few pieces of knitwear. The first one is my original foolproof cowl. I'm going to try not to touch too much because my mic is attached to it. This is knit out of some Malabrigo, can't remember, and leftovers from a kit that I got from Passion Knits for my Waiting for Rain shawl, which I do wear fairly often too. But this yarn is so soft. It is held up so well. I love it so much. And these dark and moody colors go with a lot of things that I own. And the sweater that I am wearing, is this beautiful, beautiful dark purple color. The pattern is Stonewall by Alicia Plummer. It is a V-neck, but you can't see it because of my cowl. But it's too cold out to not wear a cowl. I need the back of my neck to be warm, and then the rest of me is warm. So yeah, Stonewall, and the yarn that I used for that one is Fireweed Fiber Co. in her Cedar Worsted, which I don't think she carries anymore. And this is the Purple Kush colorway. Maybe she does. I think there was a different worsted that anyway, this is like a 100% wool. It's a woolly wool. I don't mind a woolly wool next to skin. I'm just wearing like a tank top under my wool sweaters generally. Sometimes I do wear a full t-shirt underneath it, but this one I don't have a problem with the woolly wool on it. So that is it for what am I wearing. Let's move on to works in progress. First up is the pair of socks that I have on the go at the moment. And yeah, I keep forgetting to move my marker. Probably only a few rounds on this one. I did work on it over the weekend while we were away, but yeah. Oh, I really want to wear these. I really want to wear these. But I have been focusing on a different project, so not much progress on these. The pattern that I'm using is Hermione Everyday Socks by Erica Luder, and just a nice texture pattern on it. I did use the OMG heel on these, which is a pattern by Megan Williams. And the yarn that I'm using is Fireweed Fiber Co. in the Sweet Pea Sock, and this is Tea Time. So lovely. And I will just keep working on those, probably a few rounds every week, just so I can, you know, make some progress on them. But my NaKniSweMo is taking over. However, I have gotten a lot of progress on the next project. And of course, I'm in the middle of a row. So let's quickly just shove those needles in a bit more so we don't lose any stitches. I am getting close to the end of my Musselburgh hat. So this is Musselburgh, which is a pattern by Yasol de Teague. I have knit quite a few of these. It is my now go-to hat knitting pattern, or basically any leftover yarn that I have. Pretty much I'm going to knit up into a Musselburgh. So this yarn that I'm using today for this is Loops and Thread DK in their ombres, and this color is Tropical, and I have finished all of it, and I've now gone into the Lagoon. So this is a double thick hat, so it will this end will fold up inside, so you won't see any of the like weird change in colors. You'll just see this lovely stripy side here. So yeah, I'm getting pretty close. I've got my markers. So this is where the pink one is where we left off last time. This is 10 inches. This is 15 inches, and I'm probably going to get to about 18. I'm getting close to the bottom here, so pretty soon I think I'll just call it and start my decreases. And yeah. Oh, and this is in my Beautiful Sisters bag that I won last year in the Down Cellar Studio pigskin party. It's so good quality, you guys. It's kind of like canvasy almost inside, so it's so sturdy, and canvas on the bottom too. So you can just wipe that up if it gets messy, because you know, life. And I will quickly go over the sweater that I have been working on, but really there is hardly any progress on it. I think I just knit a few rounds. This, you know, I'm just loving it. Hopefully you're seeing that if you didn't see it last week. This is Snow Wonder by Heidi Kiermaier, and I'm using, what am I using? Cascade 220 Heathers in the silver colorway. I don't know, it's light gray, but it's making these baubles just pop. So yeah, I did a few rows on it. I've been focusing on my next project. So kind of rushed through those projects in order to get to this one. I've got this one in one of my buckets from Costco, and it's perfect for just carrying it around the house with everything that I need in. Throw my phone in there, throw, you know, my water in there, everything just goes in. All right, let's show this deliciousness. Okay, it's super scrunched up because I'm getting to the sleeves, but oh, it's looking so, so good. I think for the amount of time I've actually put into this, this is a lot of progress. All right, let's go over the details first. So NaKniSweMo is National Knit a Sweater in a Month. It is based off of the National Write a Novel in a Month. Basically, the idea is if you knit 50,000 stitches in a month, you should have a finished sweater. I don't know if this is going to be 50,000 stitches or not. I didn't do any of that math. I'm just having fun with it. This is a worsted weight yarn that I'm using. So, you know, in past years, I've kind of decreased my yarn weight. So last year was a DK weight, and I felt a bit of pressure by that. And I want this to be a fun challenge, not a scary challenge. So, and I really wanted to knit this sweater. So this is where we are this year. This year, I am knitting the Super Simple Summer Sweater by Hoki Locatelli, and it is a super simple sweater. However, you have these lovely stripes on it, and for that, I am using some That Yarn Habit worsted, and in this is the Lustrous colorway. It is a very, very light gray, even lighter than the silver, that other one that I have. And this is Everest. And it's very dark teal, but it is definitely more on the green side, like an evergreen tree. But I think with striped like this, and it's hard to see because I've only just gone back into the gray, but I think that it looks just great. Yeah, so this is a different kind of neckline than I've done before, and I think it'll give it a bit of structure, but I'm enjoying it. We'll see. It's so hard to see with it bunched up on the needles like this, but so far so good. And it's a lot of plain round and round knitting, just counting your rows to make sure you change colors at the right spot. I am not holding my yarn, I can show you the inside. I'm not holding my yarn up because it's 24 rows. So I've just woven in my ends as I've gone along. So you don't get a weird kind of twist there. I will go back and kind of tighten anything up that looks a little funky, but it also helps me figure out which is the back of my sweater, which is always good when I'm actually wearing it. I didn't start this because we went to Kamloops for Cooper's volleyball tournament, and I didn't want to be working on this because I knew that the beginning, when you start something, casting on, getting it not twisted in the round, figuring out what the instructions are. I knew there was increases almost right away in it. So I just knew that being away was not going to be the best time to do that. So I did start it when we got back. And, I think, then I hadn't even really finished swatching. So that was kind of step one. And then I washed it, waited for it to dry, which is important, and then cast it on. I've been kind of measuring, checking my gauge as we go along, just to make sure that it's not too big. I do want it a little bit oversized, but not hugely oversized. So hopefully I've guessed right. My gauge is different than the pattern gauge, so I've done a bit of math, figured that out. And yeah, so day one, which was, I think, Sunday, I did the swatch and all that stuff. And then, I made some slow progress over the last few days, some more than others, but every bit counts towards a finished sweater by the end of November. So it's the 7th today. And I'm feeling very positive about getting this finished by the end of the month. If you're also doing this challenge, let me know down below. Let me know what sweater you're working on. I'd love to see any pictures you have on Instagram. So that is it for works in progress. Let's move on to stash. Since October is now officially over, I can give you my stash update for the year so far. So in October, I did purchase the Knit Pick Stroll yarn for the Advent blanket project that I will be doing in December. This was 3,168 meters in, so that's a bit of a hit, but I finished in October my Whitmore sweater, the Asunder shawl, and the Secret Skein cowl. So that came out to 3,493. So I am taking more out than in for October. And then if we look at our year-to-date numbers, yarn in, I have 16,109 meters. Yarn out is 13,865 meters. So I'm still more yarn in 2,244 meters. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I feel like with this sweater project, my Snow Wonder is kind of getting close to being done, the body of it. I think I can finish that by the end of the year. If I can finish a few other things, if I can finish that blanket project, goodness me, if I can finish that blanket project in the month of December, then that is a lot of yarn out of my stash. I do have an Advent coming, so that'll be another 2,000 meters in-ish. So, I think I'm feeling pretty good about this year. But buying yarn in order to use up yarn is a little counterintuitive, but I am very excited about this blanket project. So there we go. That's what I did. And I have that yarn now. And now next year, I think will be a really good year to focus on using up some of the yarn that I have. I have quite a few sweater quantities. I have tons of sock yarn. I'd like to make some more cowls and hats. I think there are a lot of things, kind of smaller projects out there that I would really like to get finished, especially in the first part of the year while it's still cold. Anyway, that is a lot of next on my needles and stash. So let's move on to events. I still have only one event, that is the Downseller Studio Pigskin Party for 24-25. This ends on February the 10th, and it basically anything that you start and finish within the football season counts towards this, but you don't need to watch football, so it's all for imaginary points. There are prizes at the end. I've already won a prize, which I showed recently a couple episodes ago, just for chatting in some of the chatter threads. So, you know, it's a lot of fun. I don't do it for the prizes, but it is very nice that I have won 2 years in a row. I've won a couple things. And, but yeah, it's super fun, and definitely check it out. The link to the Downseller Studio website is below. Feel free to check it out and join in. And that is it for events. Let's move on to books. I have only finished one book so far this week, and it is a series that I have read the first one, but I have now gone back to and read a different one. So it is a series in that they are in order, but each book is its own thing, so it doesn't really matter what order you read them in. This is the Twisted Tales series, which is a take on the classic Disney fairy tales, and what if something changed. So in this one is As Old as Time by Liz Braswell, and I quite enjoyed this. So basically the idea is, what if Belle's mom was the one that did the curse on the beast and the castle and the whole thing. So there's a lot more details about, you know, the interrelationships between the people in the village, and you know, there's extra stuff in there. I don't want to give it any spoilers on it, because I did quite enjoy the book. I listened to it on audiobook, as I do most of these types of books. It wasn't something that I needed to pay super attention to. You know, I could follow the story really easily. It was a nice, easy read, but it wasn't like a 5-star, you know, oh my goodness, I have to read this right now. But it was a great in-between read. I feel like I'm kind of in a slump right now. I'm waiting for the library for a few books to come in that I'm really excited about, but I'm kind of in between books, and this was available, so there we go. And I have put the second one on hold, and I think I have the third one in my thing now, so I'll probably read that this week, or listen to it this week. I'm going to listen to all of those in audiobook form. I do enjoy the narrator, and I don't know if it's different for different books, but the one I read, the Aladdin one, I don't remember the name of it, and this narrator, I think we're the same. I quite enjoy her voice. So that is it for books, and that is it for me this week. Hopefully you enjoyed this show, and we will see you guys again next time. Bye.